There's a whole lot to talk about tonight on the Sports Show. Mike Max, Patrick Royce, Eric Nelson in, and Sid Hartman.
Well, show has not started yet.
Show started. Yeah, it started. Just trust me.
We just don't get to watch it.
Yeah,
We're
just trust me.
again.
Red lights on.
It started. It started.
Red lights on.
They don't worry about where the guy's looking at, the engineer and the camera guy, okay? We're on. Now,
Okay, that's good.
Let's get an official statement from you. Minnesota Vikings official statement before we move on.
Well, I had a long talk with Billick today. And
Again?
Yeah, again.
What do you call him after every game?
I call him because I get some decent stuff from him. And he thinks when this team beat San Francisco, they showed something that nobody thought they had. And he says further makes it look good is the fact that San Francisco went into New York and beat the Jets on the road 34-0. He thinks Harvin is the best offensive player in the National Football League. He said if he started at a team, that's the guy he'd want. And that Simpson actually won the game for him today, I thought.
Nice addition. I mean, he drew a couple interference calls, did a few things.
You don't make that catch, they might have lost the game.
Yeah, Patrick?
Well, the defense certainly has played much better. Everybody went in the year saying the offense should be okay. They have all kinds of weapons, but defensively they're going to have troubles. And, you know, they held down San Francisco, and these guys, they passed for 300 and some yards, Detroit, but they never got anybody behind them. And, you know, when they let them catch a pass in front of them, they came up and hit them. How long has it been since they punished receivers like they did today? You know, had a hell of a game, Jamarcus Sanford.
Yeah, he's been kind of chomping at the bit because he's really down when they didn't start him when he got beat out for that job. It looked like he was going to make somebody pay today. Harrison Smith's the other one that plays pretty well back there.
Yeah, he's physical.
Safety was a huge question for this team going in.
Megatron was dropping balls. I think they have a presence in that secondary now they didn't have a year ago. Hey, huge win. 11-game NFC North losing streak over. Leslie has an NFC North victory. He didn't have any of those until today. And they've won 3 now. They won 3 all of last year. So to me, they're turning the corner. They break this thing into quadrants of 4 games. They're 3-1 through 4. Who wouldn't take that?
They've won as many games right now as they did all of last year. So that's a good nugget for your column. Go ahead.
Harrison Smith might be one of the best safeties they've had. He made a lot of plays today. But how do you ever figure 2 guys are going to run kicks back?
Yeah, they didn't have an offensive touchdown.
Harvin, 107 yards, and Sherrill, 77. But according to Billick, he thought that Gerard Allen was unbelievable today. He said he didn't get many sacks and that stuff, but he just upset that whole
they had pressure on
offensive line.
And he made some tackles against the run, which he rarely does. Yeah, Jared Allen did have a good day. But, you know, I think their offensive numbers can be explained by, you know, once they got ahead in the second half, they didn't try to do anything. They were very satisfied as long as Detroit wasn't going to as long as Detroit wasn't going to threaten them, they weren't going to make any mistakes. They just played extremely conservative.
Well, Adrian ran for over 100.
I got to say,
they had 8 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, and Chad Greenway is playing very good football now. And remember, the linebacking core was getting ripped in the preseason. A lot of us didn't think they were strong at linebacker. They're better right now at linebacker.
Adrian Peterson, though, I mean, I got to say, 25 carries last week. He's still not 100%, but he's a lot better than I thought he was going to be.
Well, and he just doles out punishment. I mean, he's just so angry the way he runs.
He had a couple big runs for him that they really needed. They were able to do the things what they had to do today, the second half especially. Greenway got a terrible penalty. He'll get fined pretty good for that one. And again, like I say, Simpson made that great catch, and after the game, Frazier was hugging him all over the place.
Well, they hadn't beaten an NFC North team, as Eric said, since the first game of 2011 or 2010. So that was a nice jinx again. But Detroit, first team in NFL history to give up a punt return and a kickoff return for a touchdown in back-to-back games. And the stat people went back to 1940. They couldn't find it.
They gave up too?
They gave up last week they gave up 5 touchdowns of over 60 yards. Yeah. This week they gave up 2 more. They're just, You know, with that Schwartz coaching them, they're just a chaotic mess.
They're chippy.
They're chaotic. Well, they're chaotic.
Yeah.
They're just
They're
emotional.
5-0 last year to start the year, and they really haven't done anything since.
No, they've lost 3 in a row.
They made 561 yards last week against the Titans. The Vikings shut them down pretty good today. At halftime, they had 15 yards rushing.
Right.
But I like what Sid said. Back-to-back weeks, they've given up 13 to the 49ers and Lions, playoff teams from a year ago, and the 49ers went into the Meadowlands and just crushed the Jets today, 34-0.
That's what I said.
That's impressive.
I wouldn't like to play them again.
No.
You get it.
Maybe get it at home against
the right week. I wouldn't
Well,
like
but all of a sudden, they're, I mean, at least for now, they're in the thick of things.
And now they get Tennessee, which is
winnable.
no good. So
yeah. Okay. Take a break. Come back. Settle that. Stay with us on the Sports Show.
5 more.
There it is. Locally owned, nationally known. J.D. Hoyt's, one of our hot spots for all of us. Stop on by on Washington Avenue for a game or just having fun. J.D. Hoyt's. That's a steak, and that's a whole lot of fun. Welcome back to the Sports Show. Since last week's show, this whole thing with the referees, the Monday Night Football blew up. What were your thoughts on the whole thing as it went down the pike?
Well, I just think a month from now, they'll be ripping some of those officials.
Sure they will, but it'll be business as usual again.
Make a call like today. I don't know. I don't think you call a holding call in that situation with Green Bay.
Or the fumble in the Green Bay situation that they...
Yeah. Okay, you're going to have the same situation.
Yeah, but you're not going to have 14 of them a night. That's the difference. You're going to have 2 or 3.
Not to mention the credibility issue. Every time you thought that these other ones made a call, you thought it must be wrong because they're not the regulars.
Well, that Green Bay game last Monday, the guy in the back of the end zone is standing 1 foot away from the play. He's refereed the Pac-12. He's refereed a Sugar Bowl. The guys from Green Bay's got the ball against his chest, and he lets some jackass run in from 8 yards away and make the call. They would have at least talked to each other, and the guy behind at the back of the end zone would have said, "Hey, it's an interception." You know.
So
and that guy was a
D3
D3
in the
ref.
first place.
Yeah.
The guy pushed him.
Well, that's But
it
got the lockout taken
that was the
care of.
tipping point. Hey, that's going to haunt the league, though. I got a feeling Seattle or Green Bay, when we get down to the final week, a tiebreaker is going to come in, and that one game could be a tipping point.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, the NFL, in many respects, they won big on that thing. ESPN's ratings were off the charts. I mean, they were setting records after that game for how many people watched. In some respects, the NFL is, they can't hurt themselves.
Yeah, they can take a bad story and get publicity, like Bountygate in the offseason.
And the refs didn't get that great a much better of a deal than they were going to get anyway. Now that they were going to end the pension now they're going to end the pension 4 years from now. So
I think Golden Tate got him a bonus, Patrick.
Well, but to Sid's point, you were hoping for full-time officials to come out of this.
Well, I guess they're being quoted to say they did make some progress.
They're going to have some full-time officials, I guess. They're going to have the right to hire full-time officials. So,
which is what you've always contended.
Three crews they're talking about hiring.
3 extra crews so that they can take people out of.
They'll be full-time. That's what Bud Grant's been screaming forever. Have full-time official.
I don't think it makes that much difference the way they prepare them, but I always thought that the referees could be full-time. The guys who run the crew. The guy who runs the crew and teaches them could have been full-time.
But since Ed Hockley makes $1 million a year at his law firm, he probably wants to.
Well, and he's probably going to be on a fitness magazine someday, too. We missed him posing.
That makes very good common sense. You think you've come up with a lot of good ideas. You ought to be a commissioner.
Yeah, I ought to be. Except I'd probably give away the farm to the workers, and I wouldn't be very popular. Say, it was a click-a-thon this afternoon. I didn't know where to stop my clicker with the Ryder Cup going on and the Vikings game going on, and then you got to check NFL Red Zone to see who's going to score, and then then there was about 5 baseball games.
You got to peek and see if Cabrera's going to hit a home run.
Or you got 5 other games trying to figure out the playoffs. I need
you like he does and have 9 of them.
Yeah.
The Ryder Cup.
By the way, those are all tax deductible.
Yes, right. The Ryder Cup was fabulous, though. What a finish! Europeans.
How does this happen? It was when we went to bed last night. It was over. The U.S. had it won.
U.S. was ahead 10-4 with 2 matches to go.
Lost the last 2.
And had to get to 14.5 points with. If you got 14, there was There was another 14 points available. They only needed 4.5, and they end up getting beat. It was, but the crowd was
unbelievable.
Let me ask you this: how much interest do you think there was in the Ryder Cup?
I bet the ratings this afternoon were huge.
But you
By
know
the
what?
time
They
it
had big crowds in
it
Chicago,
got
too.
to a climax, it was huge.
But what drives the ratings is what drives the ratings in football. It's the fist pump. It's the fans in the background chanting USA. It's this passion that you don't feel.
Yep.
And it seems like, Patrick, correct me if I'm wrong on this, every year I feel like the Ryder Cup's getting bigger because people are kind of catching on to this.
Well, when it's close, yeah. I mean, this could have been a boring day where everybody turned off the TV at 4 o'clock, but all of a sudden the Europeans started winning matches, and it got interesting. But, yeah, it's great. I've covered 3 of them. I was in Boston when the U.S. did this to Europe when they came back at the end. And
Was that when they did the dance and got everybody
that's when they
excited?
ran across the green
Yeah.
before Jose Maria lost my ball, had a chance to putt.
How would you rate those Ryder Cups and all the other things you've covered?
Oh, yeah, great. But the big problem is trying to fight the crowd to see anything. Because you get 35,000 people on a golf course watching 4 groups on Friday and Saturday. Good luck. It's impossible.
Well, hey, we get it here in 4 years.
Yes.
It's at Hazeltine, so
Yes.
they'll
Press
go.
can't be inside the ropes?
No, neither can the media at that event, which is the worst part.
Michael Jordan and George Bush were the ones that could be inside the ropes. I think they're watching.
2016,
credentials.
I already announced that that's when this 2016 Ryder Cups when Sid and I are going to both retire. After the Ryder
The
Cup.
difference is he might do it the week before. He doesn't have to cover golf. No,
It'll be gone by then.
Take
Don't
a
worry.
break coming back. We're both.
Stop on by anytime. Like their Q7 so well. Bought another SUV there this summer. Carousel, Audi, Bruce Bonine, and the whole group. Charlie, they'll take care of you out there. Just hope that you get there in time because those Audis fly off the lot. Welcome back to the Spork Shelf. Sydney, I know you lost the bet, and so you're wearing your Iowa tie.
That's right. You got black and gold.
What'd you think of that performance? I was disappointed.
I didn't realize it was an Iowa tie.
Forrest Evershevsky gave that to her.
That's that clip-on Forrest game years ago.
I guess I'm in a minority. I know they went into Iowa. They don't have any depth. And they went into Iowa, had to play a freshman lineman who hadn't played 1 minute all year. Everybody said when the season started, if anything happened to Gray, they probably wouldn't win a game. They lost their
A lot of
best-
people got very excited about Shortell, though.
Yeah, against nobody. And then they lost their best tackler in the secondary, maybe the best one they've had around there for a long time. And they had no depth going in there. But still, the only positive thing, you can say what you want, Iowa had the ball for 8 minutes in the second half. 21 minutes they had the ball. If they don't get that interception, they might have made the game a lot closer than you think.
Patrick?
I think Iowa's better than people think.
Well, Iowa was, maybe they are better than people think, but they played 4 ungodly, awful games in the non-conference schedule. They lost Iowa State.
Yeah, but
they
some
lost
of those
to
teams
Central.
are pretty good.
They should have lost to
They
Northern
lost
Illinois.
and Northern Iowa almost.
Yeah.
beat
Yep.
them. They were brutal, and I'm sure that Ferentz coached them up big time last week, telling them how rotten they were and got them fired up. But the Gophers have better players than Iowa, I think.
Yeah,
So
it was a
I
recipe for
surprised.
disaster, though. I was disappointed. I thought
I
they'd
didn't think
compete.
Iowa was going to be able to run the ball on them like that, Eric.
Yeah, that kid Weinstein had a huge day. But you look at Iowa losing to Central Michigan, and Minnesota's won the Pig 2 years in a row. They're going down there. The Iowa fans are banging on him. They're banging on Ferentz, and he was going to have those guys ready. But Minnesota didn't compete in the first half, and there's no excuse for that. Now they had a chance to be 5-0 with a bye week going home to Northwestern. They're probably going to lose fans for the Northwestern game because it's an 11 a.m. kickoff.
Homecoming, though. Homecoming. We fill it up for
Kids
homecoming.
got to get up early,
It'll
though,
mean
Patrick.
one thing.
Homecoming. By the way, if
Iowa was a 7.5 point favorite.
I know, and right away. They were 6 right away.
yeah.
And I don't know I didn't understand that. Now I do, I
what
guess.
they win-
Actually, it went down.
They win by 18.
Went down, I think, to 5.5 by kickoff. But
Oh, did it go to 5.5?
a little late money.
But why do you think? What is it that they see that we don't see?
They're pretty good. They had San Francisco just a 7 point favorite. I thought they'd lose us to the 49ers by 3-4 touchdowns.
Well, tradition is what they see. The tradition of the Gophers being rotten and Iowa being mediocre.
Yeah, and 4 wins
Tell you the
against
story.
who?
Where the Target Center is right now is where all the gambling started in the country. There was a place called Gorham Press. And I was 11, 12, 13-year-old guy who was selling papers downtown. And the street circulated of the Tribune paper was a guy named Joe Katzman who kind of adopted me. And I'd go up there, and they were setting all the odds for Vegas and everything. And it's amazing even then how they could come so close.
Well, how were they getting their information at that time? What were they doing? How were they finding out?
I don't know. A lot of things is past history, how teams play each other. They find out about injuries. They find out a lot of things.
So do you think the Gophers are in good shape going forward, or how would you rate the rest of the season now based on what we saw on Saturday?
Well, I think they'll win 6 or 7 games. I really do. Illinois is terrible. Penn State killed them. I think they can beat Northwestern here. I think they can
beat Illinois.
Western's 5.
beat Illinois, beat Purdue. I think they'll win 6 games at least.
Yeah,
I think Purdue's pretty good, but they'll surely beat Illinois. They'll win another Big Ten game.
For sure.
Somewhere.
Nebraska-Wisconsin was a fun game to watch.
That was finally a decent Big Ten game.
You like those uniforms?
Well, those were, I think Wisconsin wore those in the 30s, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that what it was?
I can't believe
Adidas
the Huskers
owns both schools, so Adidas set the whole thing up.
Yeah.
That Nebraska game was really fun to watch.
Yeah, wasn't it?
17-point lead they had. And
yeah, but it was a miracle.
Can't believe it.
It was a miracle that they had a 17-point lead. They don't have any kind of talent compared to Nebraska.
No, they don't. No, Wisconsin's not great this year, Sid.
Yeah, they're Nebraska guys can run. Boy, they got quickness. They got
about
speed.
3-4 running
They
backs.
got athletes, boy, I'll tell you that.
Gophers get them here or down there? They got to go down there.
Down there in November.
Gotta go to Lincoln.
Take a break, come back, stay with us. There it is, Happy Hour, Bar Abilene. What a great place to spend some time, maybe watch a game. Weekdays from 4 to 7, Saturdays and Sunday from 2 to 7. Happy Hour specials, 2 for 1 on drinks, $2 off food item, and man, do they have good food. For more information, visit barabilene.com. You can find them on Facebook. Wayne Kostrowski, of course, Taste of the NFL. Lou Nanny, Michael Nanny's, Lou sits in your office, and you were just saying it was a great funeral the other day.
I just want to add, too, a guy like Cesar Maniago flew all in from Vancouver.
For the funeral.
Cliff Fletcher was there. The Guns were there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what he had. Bill Torrey was there. There were so many hockey people I never seen.
Pat Quinn.
Pat Quinn showed up, yeah.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yep, it was an unbelievable, but those Nannies, that's a good-looking family. I mean, and they know a lot of people in this town, not just Louis, but all of them.
Yeah.
You think about those 2 blue-collar kids from the Sioux coming down here about 50 years ago. They made a pretty good life and a pretty good family, didn't they?
Yeah.
I've gone to a lot of funerals at that Basilica. I've never seen one like this.
I didn't think you could fill that place up, and they did.
That's where we should have built a stadium, though, right on top of it, man. That's where we should have had the stadium. Could have been the entrance. You walk through the Basilica, and then you go into the stadium.
The priest would have been happy to greet you. Hello.
The head priest gave me a real not too good hello, Sid.
Yeah.
Because
pretty tough on him.
They caved in on that Basilica site too well.
Yeah.
As a guy who was raised in the Holy Roman Church, I know if you would have went to them with a little money, the objections would have been over in a hurry.
Why that ballpark was going to affect the Basilica.
It wasn't. It was. Hey, quickly,
They built a freeway right next to it and pounded on the ground for 6 years, built the freeway, and it wasn't a problem.
Get rid of the freeway.
We only got about 40 seconds left. Twins lost today.
That's a shock.
30 and 51 at home.
90 losses again, but you know, Joe Mauer gets 3 hits, so he might be the guy who ruins Miggy's triple crown. He might win the batting title.
Yeah.
And give him the MVP, though. Miguel Cabrera MVP over Mike Trout.
Well, he had a good year. You got to give him a lot of credit.
Mauer and Cabrera.
Yeah.
But boy, they got a lot of work to do.
Somebody started a rumor that Gardy said he might try him at third base. I can't believe that.
I don't know. Somebody called in or something. I don't know what that was about. They had one of those things where they talked to the fans. Anyway, E, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
See you back here next week, everybody. The Sports Show.